Hey, just doing a quick video to demonstrate how you would integrate an iPad or any other device with a browser to work with Atmoshere. It's really pretty simple. There's no apps that you download. It's all browser-based, so it's all served directly from the Atmoshere unit itself. It's just got a little built-in web server that allows you to have live control. And I'll just go ahead and demonstrate that right here. So I'm just logged into the user interface or GUI for the Atmoshere system. You can see I've got some accessories and zones and stuff here. Those aren't really that important. I've got my sources set up. I just have sources 1, 2, and 3. Of course, if we wanted to add another source, I could name it, music or something. I could tell it what port I would like that to come in on, and click done, and that's just another source on there. And the same thing with zones. There's 3 zones. If I wanted to add another zone, I could just click add zone. I call it whatever I want, either leave it at zone 4, or if it's a specific named zone, tell it which port that I want to associate with that. Click done, and that's another zone. Easy enough. You probably already know this part. The part to integrate the iPad in there is you click on accessories, and then you'll see underneath accessories that you've got any wall accessories that happen to be plugged in already. In this case, I've got like a Bluetooth input and a CZSV, which is the zone source volume, or the general purpose selector knob, as well as a few others on here. And if you want to add a controller for iPad, you click on Add New Virtual Controllers. So you can see I've got one here. I'll just go ahead and delete that one, and we'll click Add New. Adding New gives you this page here. So far this has not actually been set up. I'm going to click on Audio Control and tell it which zones I want to be included. I'm just going to do all of them. We'll click Done. And then also for each zone, for Zone 1, for example, if I want to be able to select just a couple of the different sources, I'll just select those 2. Maybe for Zone 2, I want to select them all. Zone 3, none of them. Maybe I'll just set it as just a specific one there. And Zone 4, we'll just go ahead and select all. So you can see that for each zone, you can specify where you'd like it to be. You can also specify if you want it to be a fixed volume range. If you, for example, don't want them to be able to turn it all the way down, in the case of maybe messages that you want to make sure people do in fact hear, so they can't turn it all the way down, or turn it all the way up, depending on your choices there. You can also add other functions like messages and actions if those have been set up. But once that's been done, it's live. This is going to be active. So you can either use your camera app on your iPad, iPhone, Android, etc. To scan this QR code, or you can make a shortcut that is this URL right here. You can see that it's just the IP address of this device plus a little identifier tag at the end of it. And when you load that, it's going to open up this controller interface. So it'll show the audio control. You can see it's got our 4 different zones there. It's got our sources, and we can select from the sources that have been approved for that zone that you selected here under audio control. So you can see, for example, Zone 1, I'm only allowing them to pick sources 1 and 2. And when we go to Zone 1, they can only pick sources 1 and 2. Whereas if, for example, we go to a different zone, if we go to Zone 4, they have the ability to select any of them. So it just, it gives them all of those functions from an iPad or anything with a browser. This works just as well in Windows, Linux, Android. If you had an old BlackBerry phone, as long as it has a browser, it would be able to control all of these things. And like I said, that can be done either by scanning the QR code, as long as they're on the same data network. It doesn't work, from across town over the internet. Or by using this URL here or the link. You can just right-click it and choose Copy Link, or click on Copy Link, and you can even print them out if you want to. We have the ability to print all the QR codes like this. Now, one more thing, if you do have physical accessories like the CZSV, for example, you can take the CZSV and do the same thing, tell it what zones you'd like to be included on it. Tell it, what sources you'd like each zone to be able to do. Exactly the same settings that we saw on the virtual controller, except of course this is a physical wall controller, but it also has a virtual version. It works exactly the same way that the virtual version we just set up was, except this one happens to mirror whatever your physical controller does. So for example, if someone makes a change to the volume on the physical controller, you'll see it immediately echoed in the controls here as well, because they're going to work together in real time. So I hope that was informative. Please, of course, let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be happy to help out.